Mother Earth, carbon dioxide emissions. The problem. Because of our heavy use of fossil fuels, the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere has been increasing since the Industrial Revolution. The destruction of the forests which use carbon dioxide also contributes to the increase in carbon dioxide.
Chart displayed, we see a visual representation of the level of carbon dioxide emissions in the U.S. from 1820 to 2000. In the map, we have a visual display of pinpoints in the U.S. ranking each region by its level of carbon emissions. 1 being the lowest amount of carbon emissions, and the 50th region being the highest amount of carbon emissions. If you were to click on the pinpoints, it gives you the region's name and the poverty rate and the carbon emission rate in metric tons. Here, if we go to the District of Columbia, the District of Columbia has the lowest amount of carbon emission rates. And if we go over to Texas, Texas has the highest amount of carbon emission rates. In the pie graph displayed above, the percentages of U.S. carbon emissions is displayed by source. The three main sectors that use fossil fuels are transportation, utilities, including power, gas, and oil, and etc., and industrial production. Here, we have a visual representation of the sources of carbon dioxide emissions, showing that the largest source for carbon dioxide emissions is fossil fuels. Here, we have a detailed map to date of the U.S. carbon emissions from fossil fuels. Here is a visual representation of the 2012 CO2 emissions decline in casual factors. The description for this visual representation is, the warm weather only explains 43% of the drop. Some credit also goes to the important shifts in the U.S. energy system. Natural gas has been rapidly displacing coal for the electricity generation, and natural gas tends to be less carbon intensive than coal. Americans are becoming more efficient at using electricity and oil. The drop in electricity doesn't count that the decline in space heating due to the warmer weather, and the wind turbines are popping up around the country, pushing the emissions down even further. Trouble is, we might not be able to rely on these factors to continue cutting out emissions. But the real thing is that Americans are not becoming more efficient at using electricity and oil. We are burning up all of our natural resources, and above all, we are destroying our planet. Carbon emissions not only affect our Earth, they affect our health. Carbon emissions has played a key role in causing the following. Climate change affects the social and environmental determinants of health: clean air, safe drinking water, sufficient food, and secure shelter. Also, global warming that has occurred since the 1970s caused over 140,000 deaths annually by the year 2004. The direct damage caused to health, excluding costs in health-determining sectors such as agriculture, water, and sanitation is estimated to be between 2 to 4 billion. Carbon dioxide emissions are those stemming from the burning of fossil fuels in the manufacture of cement. They include carbon dioxide produced during the consumption of solid, liquid, and gas fuels and gas flaring. Carbon emissions negatively influence the quality of air and increase the greenhouse effect. Greenhouse gases have direct influence on the environment, causing extreme weather changes, global temperature increase, the loss of ecosystems, and potentially hazardous health effects on humans. The bars geolocated on the Earth represent the carbon emission levels by each country in the world. By region, the following percentages of carbon emissions are present in the United States. In the Pacific region, negative 5.4%. In the mountain region, negative 5.1%. In West-North Central, negative 3.8%. West-South Central, negative 3.3%. East-North Central, negative 9.1%. East-South Central, negative 15.1%. South Atlantic, negative 13%. Middle Atlantic, negative 10.7%. New England, negative 12.1%. Here I have made an icon to represent the region with the most carbon emission levels, which is the East-South Central, which is negative 15.1%. Over time, the world population will keep on growing. In the graph, here is an estimate of the world population from the year 2000 to 2160. As the world population increases, so does the CO2 emissions worldwide, resulting in temperature increase. Here in the graph, you see an interaction between the CO2 emissions and the temperature increase from the years 2000 to 2150. If mankind does not find an alternate energy source, soon global warming is going to lead to the destruction of our planet.